My name is Emily. The apartment smells like burnt coffee and the lavender candle I light every morning to pretend everything's fine. I'm sitting cross-legged on the couch, laptop balanced on a throw pillow, scrolling through expense reports while the radiator clanks like it's arguing with the walls. Outside, Chicago is gray and wet. The rain hits the window like static, smearing the streetlights into bleeding halos. I've been up since 5, same as always, because deadlines don't care that my fiancé, Nate, works nights at the ER and my little sister, Lauren, still thinks rent is a suggestion. Lauren moved in 6 months ago. Just temporarily, she said, eyes wide, suitcase wheels squeaking across the hardwood like a warning. She'd lost her barista job, again, and Mom begged me to help. I was the responsible one, the one with the corner office at the marketing firm, the one who paid the bills on time. Nate didn't fight it, he just kissed my forehead and said, "Family first, Em." So I gave her the spare room, the one with the crooked blinds and the view of the alley dumpster. I even bought her a new comforter, soft blue, because she said the old one smelled like regret. Mornings were quiet. I'd leave sticky notes on the fridge, eggs in the drawer, coffee filters above the sink, while Lauren slept until noon. She'd shuffle out in my oversized college hoodie, hair in a knot, and pour cereal straight into a mug because bowls were too much commitment. I'd smile tight and ask about job applications. She'd shrug, say she was manifesting opportunities, then disappear into TikTok for 8 hours. Nate would come home exhausted, scrub blood out from under his nails, and find Lauren's glitter eyeshadow ground into the bathroom rug. Again, I told myself it was fine. Sisters fight. Sisters forgive. I'd grown up cleaning up her messes, forgotten permission slips, borrowed clothes never returned. The time she totaled Mom's car and cried until I took the blame. I was 28, engaged, promoted to senior strategist. I could handle 1 more year of being the safety net. Then came the Tuesday that tasted like metal. I was in the conference room, pitching a rebrand for a cereal company, talking mascots and nostalgia, when my phone buzzed against my thigh. I ignored it. It buzzed again and again. By the 4th vibration, my boss raised an eyebrow. I slipped into the hallway, heart already sprinting. The text was from Lauren. "I'm quitting my job. You'll take care of us while I figure things out." Us. The word glowed like a bruise. Below it, a selfie. Lauren and Jakey, my Jake, Nate's best friend since med school, grinning in front of a beach sunset. Her hand on his chest, his arm around her waist. Caption found my person. I stared until the screen went black, then stared at the reflection of my own face in it. Pale. Eyes too wide. Mouth open like I'd forgotten how to breathe. I don't remember walking back to my desk. I remember the carpet felt spongy, like walking on tongues. I remember my boss asking if I was okay and me nodding lying while my pulse hammered in my ears. I remember opening my laptop and seeing the expense report I'd spent 3 weeks perfecting, the numbers swimming like minnows. That night, Nate came home at 2 a.m. I was on the couch, still in my work clothes, the laptop dead beside me. The apartment was dark except for the blue glow of the fish tank. He dropped his keys in the bowl, saw my face, and froze. I held up my phone, the selfie, the text. He read it once, twice, then sat down hard like someone had kicked his knees. "Jake," he whispered. "And Lauren." He looked at me, eyes glassy. "Your sister," I laughed. "It came out sharp, ugly." She said, "Us," like I'm supposed to pay for their Airbnb and their therapy and their God, Nate, their couples massages. He reached for me. I let him hold my hand, but it felt cold, like holding a stranger's. Lauren didn't come home that night. Or the next. Her room sat untouched, clothes exploding from the hamper, empty seltzer cans forming a skyline on the dresser. I stood in the doorway and felt the air thicken with her perfume, something cheap and floral that made my stomach turn. Nate tried to fix it. He called Jake, left voicemails that started calm and ended in shouting. Jake texted back a single emoji, a wave. Lauren posted an Instagram story, her feet in the sand, a man's hand, Jake's holding a coconut. Caption, new chapter, same heart. I stopped sleeping. I'd lie in bed and replay every time I'd covered for her. The time she stole my college savings to bail out her deadbeat boyfriend. The time she told our cousins I was too uptight to have fun. The time she wore my wedding dress. The one I'd saved for, the one Mom helped me pick. On a whim for a Halloween party and spilled red wine down the train. Nate found me in the kitchen at 3 a.m., shredding the dress into ribbons with kitchen scissors. He didn't stop me, just wrapped his arms around me from behind and let me cry until the fabric was confetti. The revenge started small. A seed, a whisper. I was good at details. It was my job, spotting the 1 pixel out of place in a billboard, the typo that could tank a campaign. I started noticing things about Lauren's digital life. Her Venmo was public. Her Spotify playlists were shared. Her email password was still our childhood dog's name plus 123. I didn't touch anything at first. Just watched. She'd applied for unemployment, claiming she'd been laid off. The barista job, she'd quit weeks ago, but the manager wrote a glowing reference anyway. Probably because Lauren flirted her way into it. She'd started a GoFundMe, help Lauren chase her dreams, goal, though 10 Zalos for creative coaching and relocation. The description was a sob story about toxic family expectations. She'd raised $2,300 already. From strangers, from people who thought I was the villain. I printed the GoFundMe page, taped it to the fridge. Nate saw it and went quiet. What are you going to do? Nothing illegal, I said. My voice sounded steady. Inside, I was a hurricane. I started keeping a notebook. Not the pretty leather one Nate gave me for my birthday, just a cheap spiral from the drugstore, the kind with the flimsy cardboard cover that bends when you cry on it. I titled the first page Evidence in blue ink, then immediately crossed it out. Too dramatic. I wrote receipts instead. Every night after Nate fell asleep, I'd sit at the kitchen table under the single pendant light, the bulb humming like a trapped bee. I'd screenshot Lauren's posts, Jake's comments, the Venmo transactions with heart emojis. I made timelines. I mapped their locations from geotags, Naperville Beach, a rooftop bar in Wicker Park, a boutique hotel in Miami with heart-shaped pools. Each pin on my mental map felt like a splinter. Nate caught me once at 4 a.m., eyes bloodshot, hair twisted into a knot on top of my head. You're scaring me. I'm scaring myself, I whispered. But I can't stop. He kissed my temple, tasted the salt on my skin. Then be smart about it. Smart. That was the rule. No screaming voicemails. No showing up at their Airbnb with a baseball bat. Just pressure. Slow. Surgical. I began with the GoFundMe. I donated $5 anonymously, left a comment. So inspiring! Can you share your business plan? She never replied, but the question sat there public, unanswered. Then I messaged 3 of her top donors. People I recognized from high school. Cousins, Mom's book club friend, asking sweetly if they'd seen Lauren's new LinkedIn. She hadn't updated it in 2 years. One donor asked for a refund. The campaign stalled at 2-day 317. Next, the unemployment claim. I knew the barista manager, Sarah, from college. We'd grab coffee sometimes, complain about clients. I texted her a screenshot of Lauren's beach selfie, time-stamped the same week she'd supposedly been let go. Sarah's reply was instant, "Are you kidding me?" 2 days later, Lauren posted a tear-streaked selfie. When the system fails you. The unemployment office froze her claim pending investigation. Jake was trickier. He was a resident, cocky, always posting about saving lives. Between shirtless gym selfies. I remembered Nate telling me Jake's program director was old school, hated social media scandals. I created a burner Instagram, followed Jake, screenshotted every post where he tagged the hospital. Then I emailed the director from a generic Gmail concerned citizen. Thought you should know your resident is moonlighting as an influencer. Attaché Jake drunk on a yacht, hospital badge visible around his neck. The next day, Jake's stories vanished. His profile went private. Lauren noticed. Of course she did. Her text came at 11:47 p.m. The night Nate had a rare day off. We were eating Thai on the couch, chopsticks clacking, when my phone lit up. The silence after they left was heavier than any fight we'd ever had. It pressed against the windows, pooled in the corners, made the radiator's clank sound like a confession. I walked through the apartment, touching nothing, afraid the walls would bruise. Nate followed at a distance, giving me the space I didn't know how to ask for. I ended up in Lauren's old room. The blue comforter was rumpled where she'd sat, one corner dragged to the floor like a surrender flag. I picked it up, pressed it to my face. It smelled like coconut sunscreen and lies. I folded it anyway, precise corners, the way Mom taught us. Then I carried it to the hallway closet and buried it under winter coats. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open to a blank document titled Letter I'll Never Send. I typed until my fingers cramped every memory. Every time I'd said yes when I wanted to scream no, I saved it password protected and closed the lid. The screen's reflection stared back, eyes puffy, mouth set. I looked like someone who'd finally stopped apologizing. The next morning, Nate left for his shift with a kiss that tasted like coffee and worry. I called out sick again. My boss texted, "Take the week. We've got you." I stared at the message until the words blurred. I had one more move. The kind that doesn't leave fingerprints. Lauren had always been careless with access. Same password for everything, Sunny123. I logged into her email from my phone. Heart thudding so loud I swore the neighbors could hear. Her inbox was a landfill, promotions, unread job alerts, a thread with Jake titled Our Future. I didn't open it. Instead, I forwarded myself the confirmation emails, the Airbnb in Miami, the couple's a spa package, the first-class upgrade they'd charged to my credit card, the one I'd given Lauren for emergencies. I froze the card, called the bank, reported it stolen. The rep asked if I wanted to press charges. I said no, not yet. Then I opened her Google Drive. She'd shared a folder with Jakey dream boards, vision boards, mood boards, a Pinterest board titled Lauren and Jake Take Over the World. I downloaded everything. Every photo of my apartment used as inspo. Every screenshot of my engagement ring labeled goals. Every budget spreadsheet where my salary was listed under income and theirs under fun money. I zipped the files, named it Truth. Zip, uploaded it to a new, private Google Drive, shared the link with no one. Yet, Lauren texted at noon. "Can we talk? I'm outside." I looked through the peephole. She stood in the hallway, hoodie up, mascara smudged. No Jake. I opened the door 2 inches. "I'm not letting you in. Please, M. 5 minutes. I stepped into the hall, pulled the door shut behind me. The carpet smelled like old pizza and Lysol. "You have 3. She hugged herself. Jake left. Said I was too much drama. The GoFundMe's gone. Unemployment denied. I have a 47 in my account. Her voice cracked. "I messed up. I waited. I thought you'd always be there," she whispered. "Like a safety net." "I was," I said. "You cut the ropes." She looked at the floor. "What do you want me to do?" I pulled out my phone, opened the Truth. Zip preview. Showed her the spreadsheet. Her eyes widened. "Delete it," she breathed. "No. I'll do anything." I leaned in, close enough to smell her coconut shampoo. "Post the truth. All of it. On your public Instagram. Tag me, tag Jake, tag Mom. Then maybe, I don't send this to everyone you've ever met." Her face crumpled. "You'd ruin me." "You ruined yourself." She left without another word. I watched her elevator reflection shrink, distort, disappear. That night, I cooked for the first time in weeks. Real food, garlic sizzling, tomatoes collapsing into sauce. Nate came home to the smell and smiled like he'd forgotten how. We ate on the couch, legs tangled, wine glasses clinking. "You're glowing," he said. "I'm done carrying ghosts." Lauren posted at 2:14 a.m. I got the notification while brushing my teeth. A carousel, the text message, the GoFundMe screenshots, the credit card charges, the vision board with my ring. Caption: "I was wrong. I hurt the person who loved me most. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm asking for accountability. I'm sorry, Emily." Comments flooded. Shock, anger, a few defending her. Mom called crying. I let it ring. Jake texted Nate, tell her I'm sorry. Nate replied with a middle finger emoji. The next week, Lauren moved back with Mom. She got a job at a call center, started paying me back $50 a month. I deposited every check into a savings account labeled Never Again. I went back to work, pitched the cereal campaign, got a bonus, bought Nate tickets to Italy. Our honeymoon delayed 2 years. Sometimes late at night, I open Truth. Zip. Not to gloat. Just to remember the weight of almost breaking. The apartment smells like garlic now, not burnt coffee. The radiator still clanks, but it sounds like a heartbeat. Lauren texts sometimes. Made dinner tonight. Thought of you. I don't reply. Some doors stay closed. I kept the blue comforter. Washed it 3 times. It's on our bed now, soft and forgiving. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's choosing who gets to stay in your light. What are you doing? I showed Nate. He raised an eyebrow. Your move. I typed back. Calm. Taking care of us, like you asked. She called. I let it ring. Voicemail. Emily, stop. This isn't funny. Jake's freaking out. We're coming home tomorrow. We need to talk. Home. The word curdled in my mouth. I didn't sleep. I sat on the fire escape instead. City lights flickering like bad reception. The air smelled like wet asphalt and someone's burnt toast. I thought about Mom, how she'd say, blood doesn't lie. I thought about the spare key Lauren still had, the one I never asked for back. The plan crystallized then, cold and clean. I'd let them come. I'd let them think they'd won. The next morning, I called in sick, first time in 3 years. My boss sounded worried. I told her I had food poisoning. Lie. I spent the day cleaning. Not frantic cleaning, methodical. I boxed Lauren's clothes, folded them neat, labeled the boxes Donate. I wiped her glitter off the bathroom mirror with Windex until my reflection stared back, sharp. I changed the Wi-Fi password. I hid the good coffee. Nate watched from the doorway, arms crossed. You sure about this? I've never been more sure of anything. I left one thing untouched, the blue comforter. I wanted her to see it. Remember, I'd been kind. They arrived at 6:12 p.m. I heard the key scrape, the suitcase wheels, Lauren's fake laugh echoing in the hallway. I was in the kitchen, chopping onions for a dinner I had no intention of sharing. The knife flashed under the light. Lauren walked in first, tan fading, hair in a messy bun. Jake behind her, sheepish hospital badge still clipped to his scrubs. Lauren started, voice syrupy. We need to. I didn't look up. She's off. Floors are clean. Silence. Then the soft thud of sneakers. Jake cleared his throat. Look, about the text. Which one? I asked, still chopping. The one where you asked me to bankroll your vacation. Or the one where you called me a controlling bitch in the comments. Lauren flinched. I didn't mean. You never do. I set the knife down, turned, met her eyes. They were the same hazel as mine, but hers were glassy, like she'd been crying in the Uber. Good. Here's what's going to happen, I said. My voice didn't shake. You have 30 minutes to pack what's yours. The boxes in your room are labeled. Anything left goes to Goodwill. Jake, you're not staying. Nate's in the bedroom. He has things to say. Jake opened his mouth, closed it, looked at Lauren. She was staring at the fridge, my printed GoFundMe page still taped there, now with a red Fareud stamp I'd made at the copy shop. Please, Lauren whispered. We're family. I laughed, soft. Family doesn't steal. Nate appeared in the doorway then. Arms full of Jake's forgotten hoodie, the one he'd left after poker night. He tossed it at Jake's feet. Time's up. Lauren reached for me. I stepped back. The onion smell clung to my hands like guilt. They left at 6:41. Lauren crying, Jake silent. The door clicked shut like a period at the end of a sentence I'd been writing my whole life. I stood in the quiet. The apartment suddenly huge. The radiator clanked once, then stopped. Nate wrapped his arms around me from behind. You okay? No. I said I will be.